Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for part two, read the primary source and answer the following questions in complete sentences. The source is the founding of the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancements of Colored People. To discuss to discuss the means of securing political and civil equality for the Negro, the celebration of the centennial of the birth of Abraham Lincoln's, widespread and grateful as it may be, will fail to justify itself. It takes no note and makes no recognition of the colored men and women to whom the great emancipator labored to assure freedom. Besides a day of rejoicing, Lincoln's birthday in 1909 should be one taking stock of the nation's progress since 1865. How far has it lived up to the obligations imposed upon it by the Emancipation Proclamation? How far has it gone to assure to each and every citizen, irrespective of color, the equality of opportunity and equality before the law, which underlines our American institutions and are guaranteed by the Constitution? If Mr. Lincoln could revisit this country, he would be disheartened by the nation's failure in this respect. He would learn that on January 1st, 1909, Georgia had rounded out a new oligarchy by disfranchising the Negro after the manner of all the other southern states. He would learn that the Supreme Court of the United States, designated a bulwark of American liberties, had failed to meet several opportunities to pass squarely upon his disenfranchisement of millions by laws avowed discriminatory and openly enforced in such a manner that white men may vote and black men be without a vote in their government. He would discover there that taxation without representation is the lot of millions of wealth-producing American citizens in whose hands rests the economic progress and welfare of the entire section of the country. He would learn that the Supreme Court, according to the official statement of one of its own judges in the Barrow College case, has laid down the principle that if an individual state chooses, it may make it a criminal for a white and colored person to frequent the same marketplace at the same time, or appear in an assembly of citizens conveyed to consider the question of a public or a public nature in which all citizens, regardless of race, are equally interested. In many states, Lincoln would find justice enforced, if at all, by judges elected by one element in the community to pass upon the liberties and the lives of another. He would see that the black men and women for whose freedom 100,000 of soldiers gave their lives sit apart in trains in which they pay first-class fares for third-class services in rail station and in place in entertainment, while state after state declines to do its elementary duty in preparing the Negro through the education for the best exercise of citizenship. Added to this, the spread of lawless attacks upon the Negro, North, South, and West, even in Springfield, made famous by Lincoln, often accompanied by revolting brutalities, bearing neither sect nor age nor youth, could not shock the author of the sentiment that government of the people, by the people, for the people shall not perish from the earth. Silence under these conditions mean tactics approved. The indifference of the North is already responsible for more than one assault upon democracy, and every such attack reacts as unfavorably upon whites as upon blacks. Discrimination, once permitted, cannot be bridled. Recent history in the South shows that forging chains for the Negro and white voters are forging chains for themselves. A house divided against itself cannot stand. This government cannot exist half slave and half free any better today than it could in 1861. Hence, we call upon all the believers in democracy to join in the nation's conference to discuss the presence of evil, the voice of protest, the renewal of the struggle for civil and political liberty. The rest is the list of all the people that signed it in the formation of the NAACP.